Shavasana. And I would suggest that you roll down with your head pointing to the direction where you usually would be with your feet, because we will end up on our belly later. So just roll down, relax the hips, the shoulders down, close your eyes. And then take a few breath in and out through the nose. Starting in Shavasana is always nice, no matter if you do this as a lunch break or after work. After sitting so much, it's often that we feel tired because when we sit, somehow the oxygen flow through our body is not as good as when we walk, when we're active. And so this is why we're gonna be a little bit more active today, but just to start with, just a gentle start, just stretching out your body. Taking a little scan on how you're feeling today. Keep in mind, you don't have to do anything of what I say. As always, it's all optional. So maybe it's your treat that you stay here in Shavasana for the whole time. So it's absolutely fine. Especially if you realize you feel a little bit low. So really keep it easy. If you feel maybe bubbling over of energy, maybe trying to pace yourself. Really trying to be in tune with your body. Just maybe one last skin from your toes up to the fingers before we start to move. I thought we're just keeping the theme of the bridge, which I had already in the Monday class. Maybe it's just bridging the time for you between the second half of the day, if you're home office or back in the office, or it's the bridging after work into some free time, but there also will be some bridge poses and some back bends trying to get you active. And then slowly start to focus on your breath, trying to breathe into your lower abdomen. And slowly start to get more and more observed by your breath. Even though we start to move and it might be a little bit more active today, keep your breath the most important thing throughout your whole class. And then from here, slowly bring some movements, starting super gentle with just some wiggling movements from your fingers and your toes. Circling your ankles and your wrists. Don't want to get too cozy here, only if you feel you need to have a little snooze, then stay here. But if you like to get moving and bring your feet onto the ground, let your knees point up to the ceiling. Open your feet into a comfortable width. So you can really turn the toes out to the side. Find position for your feet that's comfortable for your lower back. Your hands on the ground next to your hips. And now start to squeeze your feet and hands into the ground. And then as you inhale, you roll your hips up, press your hips up to the ceiling. On your exhale, roll your hips back down. And with your next inhale, roll back up. Starting slow, even though it's quite intense as you feel the weight shifting to the shoulders. Exhale, send your hips back down. Keep breathing here. Do one more. Press your feet up. The hips up. Hips back down. And we keep moving with the hips. So, for the next round, as you lift your hips, you bring your arms with you. Lift the hips, lift your arms, and send your arms up over your head. Exhale, roll your hips and arms back down to the ground. 2 more. On your inhale, press up your hips. Lift your arms up over your head. Exhale, send your hips and your arms back down. One last time. Squeeze your feet, shift your hips up. Bring your arms up over your head. And then exhale, send your hips back down. Bring your arms back down to the ground. Feel your hips again on the ground. And then you lift your right leg and place your right ankle across your left knee. You can have your arms next to your hips around to the side. And we keep the same movement, but now just with one leg on the ground. So press your left foot into the floor, lift your hips up, let your arms help you. Exhale, hips back down. Lift your hips, press your hips up, strong left leg. Exhale, hips back down. One last time. On your inhale, lift your hips. Right knee flares out to the side. Exhale, hips back down. And now slide your legs into this tight cross leg position. Slide your arms out to the side. Take one big inhale. And now as you exhale, let your knees drop to the left hand side of your yoga mat, coming to the twist. And then you bring your right arm over to meet your left hand. Lift the right shoulder. And then open up the chest. Right hand back to the original place. Inhale, lift the right arm up. And open the right shoulder back. One last round. Move your right arm over to the left hand. And now send your right hand back down to the ground and stay here. Feel into your lower back. Find your sweet spot in this spinal twist. Palms can facing up or down. Enjoy this little twist. Maybe you realize you feel a little bit stiff from your lower back. And really give your body time to warm up with all the movement that are coming. There's no need to rush anything. One more big inhale here. Fill up your lungs. Breathe into the lower belly. Exhale out. And with the exhale, roll back to center. Feel your lower back on the ground. Uncross your legs. Both feet on the ground. And then bring your left leg up. Left foot over your right knee. You can have your arms out to the side or bring them next to your hips again. And then strong right leg. As you inhale, press your hips up to the ceiling. Exhale, send your hips back down. Inhale, press the hips up. Exhale, hips back down. One last time. Squeeze your right foot into the floor. Lift your hips. Exhale, hips back down. And then slide your left leg in this tight cross leg position. Slide your arms out to the side. Take one big inhale. And on your exhale, drop your knees over to the right hand side of your yoga mat. And then you look to your right fingers. Bring your left hand over to touch your right hand. And then exhale, open the left hand back. Inhale, left hand to right hand. Open up on the exhale. One more time. Left hand reaches to touch the right hand, and now exhale, open up your chest again. Left shoulder sinks towards the ground and find your spinal twist. There's no need to have your legs in the same position as you had on the first side. Trying to find your perfect spinal twist on the second side of your body. Send your breath down to the lower abdomen. And let this pose help you to gently activate the spine, releasing tension from sitting still for so many hours a day. And from here, bring your legs back up. Feel the lower back on the ground. Uncross your legs. Send your feet back to the floor. Slide your hands next to your hips again. Last 3 rounds. Both legs on the ground. Feel the difference. Exhale, hips down. Only 2 more. Inhale. Roll your hips up. Shift the hips up to the ceiling. Exhale, hips down. 1 more. Roll your hips up. So nice to have both legs on the ground now, huh? Hips back down. Slide your legs back out. And then roll onto your belly. So this is why I wanted you to be with your head at the back of your yoga mat, but maybe you need to switch around quickly so you can see me, but otherwise trying my best to guide you just with my words. And then from here, so you lie on your belly, legs in a comfortable width, hands on the ground, maybe next to the ribs, a little bit wider. Squeeze your palms into the ground. Inhale, roll up, cobra pose. Keep moving through the spine. Exhale, chin down. 2 more. On your inhale, roll up, cobra number 2. Maybe you look up to the ceiling. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, cobra. Hold your cobra. If you like, let your head drop back and then find a comfortable curve for your spine. Spread your fingers. And you can really open your legs as wide as you like. Taking 1 more big inhale. Exhale, roll back down. Tuck your toes. Use your knees. Bring the hands next to your ribs. And then exhale, send your hips to your heels. Keep your arms out in front of you. So almost child's pose. So you keep your arms out in front of you. If you like, keep your toes tucked. And then keeping your nose close to the ground, you slide forwards. Send your hips down, roll up, cobra pose again, and straight back with your hips, using your hands and knees. Send your hips to the heels and slide forward again. Roll up, cobra pose. One last time if you like, or we meet in child's pose. So if you like, if you're with me, shift the weight to your forearms, keep your nose close to the ground, and then when the hips come down, roll the shoulders up and back, cobra pose. Exhale, send your hips to child's pose. Child's pose, everyone. If you like, bring your arms next to the hips, so keep your arms out in front of you. You know you can also bring the hands as a pillow under your forehead. All kinds of options. Little break here. Feel into your spine. And you know you can always come back to this pose So at any point as we move on in the beat, when you feel, or if your body is telling you child's pose, just drop the knees and hang out here as long as you like. Now after all these back bends, try to feel into this part of your back. Allow your belly to be soft, and now we reach our arms out in front. Again, hands wide, at least shoulder distance apart. And then come up to tabletop position, hands and knees on the ground. Have your knees in a comfortable width. And let's bring a little bit of a stretch into our wrists. So turn your fingers to point to your knees. So palms down, but your fingers pointing to your knees. And then send your hips just enough to the direction of your heels, to the point when you start to feel this nice stretch in your wrist. So you don't need much, you don't have to sit all the way down. Even though some of you maybe have to, if you feel super gooey, then go for it. And then shift forward and back. Coming back to almost neutral, and once more send your hips back and hold it here. Enjoy the stretch. If you feel it, smile. Think about all the time you spend on your computer keypad or on your smartphone. We're spending so much time on our electronic devices these days. So sometimes it's nice to have a little release for our hands or the wrists, and then back to neutral. Release your hands, bring the palms back to the neutral position, and then drop your belly, lift your sit bones, lift your gaze, come into cow pose on your inhale. We keep moving. Exhale, round your back into cat pose. Try to pull your shoulder blades away from each other on your inhale. Roll up, cow pose. Move through your spine on the exhale, round back to cat pose. Pull your navel to the spine. And one more cow pose on your inhale. Lift the gaze. Exhale. Round back to cat pose. And then from here, back to tabletop, and then one last touch for our wrist. Right hand stays on the ground. Bring the palm of your left hand up, so the back of your left hand is on the ground, and then sit, send your hips back. So stretching now the front of the wrist. Feels so good. I want to leave right now. Always incredible how tight we can feel in the wrist. And then back to neutral, left palm down, shift the weight to the left hand, turn the back of your right hand to the ground, right palm faces up, fingers to the right knee, and then just maybe a tiny movement of your hips to the back, and then stop when you start to feel a little stretch. Well, I can say for me it's a big stretch. In your forearms, in the wrist. One more big inhale. Come back to neutral. Feel both palms on the ground. Tuck your toes. Squeeze your palms into the ground. Lift your hips up. Coming to the first down dog. But before we stay here, feel slide forwards to plank. Drop your knees, but instead of dropping them all the way down to the ground, keep them lifted. Send your hips back up. Shift your shoulders over the wrist, plank pose. Drop the knees almost. Keep them lifted. Send your hips back. Lift your hips up. Back down dog. One more. If you like, you know child's pose always there for you. Drop the knees maybe almost to the ground and lift your hips up. And now, here we are in downward facing dog. Walk the dog Bend your knees. Feel into your hips, shake out your neck. Saying yes, 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 no, no, no. Strong arms, really spread your fingers wide. You don't have to have your leg straight. Find your version of a straight leg. And try to press your heels towards the ground. Check in with your breath. One more big inhale. On your next exhale, slide forwards to plank and drop your right knee to the ground. Pivot your back, left foot flat, right hand on the ground, somewhere under the right shoulder, and then lift your left arm up to the ceiling. Take a few moments here to find your balance. Strong right arm. So you're on your right hand, right knee, left foot. You can turn the gaze to the ground. It definitely helps the balance, or to the side. If you like more spice, you can look up to your left fingertips. And you can keep your left foot on the ground, or if you want, lift your left leg off the ground. Maybe really just the right hand on the ground. Keep your left leg lifted. And then from here, on your inhale, press the right leg to the front and bring it back. Thank God we don't hold it, but we come back straight forward with the right leg and bring it back. And then once more, hold it here. And now we hold it. But not enough, sorry. I wish, I know, you want to hold it longer. Sorry. So strong right arm. But if you want more, you can bend your left leg and now reach with your left hand to catch hold of your back left foot. A little bit more tricky for the balance, being on your right hand, right knee. Try to squeeze your left foot into your left hand. Keep breathing. Never sacrifice your breath for any yoga pose. And then release your back foot. Keep it lifted. Now reach your left arm up over your head. Left fingers away from the left toes. Left hand down, left knee down. Great job, everyone. Step your feet back. Plank pose. Shift to down dog. You can stay in down dog. Maybe walk your dog if you like. Or slide to plank. Drop your knees almost. Bend your knees, hips back up, down dog. Roll forwards to plank. Drop the knees, but keep them off the ground. Bend your knees, lift the hips. And one more. Over to plank. Knees down. Send your hips back. And back in downward dog. And as always, you can always walk the dog. Always find your sweet spot. Any position for your hands and feet where you're feeling most stable. Shaking out your head. Checking in with the breath. Maybe wiggle your jaw from left to right. And then inhale, sliding back forwards to plank. Drop the knees. Your left knee to the ground this time. Spin your left foot flat. Sorry, your right foot. So your left hand is on the ground, left knee, right foot, right arm up. And you know, you can stay here. There's no need. If you realize first time, like, I'm not doing this again. Perfect. Maybe child's pose, or you hold this pose. Or you can't wait to see what it's like to do it on the second side. Then lift your right leg up. Find balance on your left hand, left knee. The right arm reaches high for the ceiling. Keep breathing. And then press your right leg out in front of you. And shift it back. Perfect. And bring the right leg out in front of you. And send it back. And unfortunately last time we hold it and send it back. So maybe you stay here, you send the right foot down, or if you like, you bend your right leg, trying to hold the right foot with your right hand. Keep breathing. Maybe you didn't do this on the first side, but it might feel okay on the second side. Keep breathing. Push the right foot into your right hand. And then release the grip of your right foot. Keep the right foot lifted. Right arm reaches up over your head. Pull the right fingers away from your back toes. And then exhale. Hands and feet back on the ground. From here, let's keep moving. Lift your knees back up, press back to downward facing dog. Shake out your head, shake out your hips. Strong arms, strong legs. And maybe you bend your right knee, bending your left knee. So all kinds of movements that help you to warm up, to get ready for the second half of the day. Or maybe getting ready if you're already done with work. And then press your left foot a little bit more into the ground. Lift your right leg high. Lift your right leg up to the ceiling, strong arms. And then bring the right knee towards your chest and circle your hip. Lift the right leg up. Bring the right knee in. Circle again. And one last time. Circle your right leg. Lift the right leg high. And then look to your fingers. Come onto your back toes. Bring the right knee to your chest. Pivot on your back foot. Step the right foot through. Right foot to the ground. Press your hips up. Strong right arm. And if you like, lift your left arm up. And keep pressing your hips away from the ground. Keep breathing. And then exhale, left hand back down. Lift your right leg up again. Bend your right leg. For those of you, if you have space available and you like to do that back drop, feel free to do so. Pivot on your back foot, drop the right foot down, lift the right hand off the ground. But at the same time, feel free to ignore that option, and we already switch back to the three-leg downward facing dog. And you step now the right foot in between your hands, so it won't get any crazier than that, so sorry for that one. Drop the back knee to the ground. Release your back toes. Right foot a little bit closer to your right hand. Inhale, reach your arms up, low lunge. Again, saying hello to your hips. Feel your left hip flexors. And then exhale. Both hands to the ground. Inside your front right foot. And then you tuck your back toes again. Lift your back left knee off the ground and pivot both feet in. So you face the side of your yoga mat. So you turn your left toes up, deep squat for your right knee. Keep your hands on the ground. We shift over to the left. Right heel down, right toes pointing up, and we move back to the right leg. So your left toes again pointing up, you're squatting into your right knee. But unfortunately we don't stay here too long, and now everyone loves this pose. Crawl with your fingers to the front. Bring your front right knee towards straight, and then drop your right knee to the ground. left foot. Bring the sole of your left foot to the ground. Right hand on your right side. Press your hips up. Lift your left arm up and reach the left arm up over your head. Perfect. Exhale. Left hand back down to the ground. Press your right leg straight. Lift your hips up. Turn the left toes out again. Both hands framing your front right foot. Bend your right knee. Step your right leg back to plank pose. From plank, drop your knees. Lift your hips. Back to down dog. Roll again, forwards to plank. Drop your knees. Almost. Lift your hips up again. Again, forwards to plank. Knees almost to the ground. Lift your hips up and hold your down dog. Walk the dog. You can unplug your hands if you like. Anything that helps you to take the pressure from your wrist and shoulders. Soften the neck, shaking out the tailbone. Happy dog. Keep breathing. You stay here. I'm just changing perspective. And only if you like. So you know, child's pose is always there for you. So you maybe choose child's pose. Only for those of you who like. Shift the weight into your right foot this time. Lift your left leg off the ground. Reach the left leg high up to the ceiling. Strong arms. And then if you like, bend your left leg. Open up the hip. Strong arms. And then bring your left knee in towards the chest and then circle it open to the side. Again, bring the knee in. Open it to the side. Strong arms still. You can skip the last one. Or if you're with me, just one last round. And then lift your left leg up to the ceiling. Check it in with your breath. If your breath is telling you to take child's pose, drop the knees down. You won't miss anything. Only if you want. Come onto your right toes. Right knee to your chest. Pivot on your back foot. Step the left foot through. Left foot to the ground. Strong left arm, right arm reaches up. Press your hips away from the ground. And then right hand back down. Bring your left leg back up to the ceiling. 3-leg down dog. If you want, bend your left leg. Let the left heel drop to your right butt cheek. And only for those of you who want, and if you have space, if you like to play, you can drop your left foot to the ground, lift your left hand, right hand squeezes into the ground, press your hips up, keep breathing. One more big inhale, exhale, left hand back down to the ground, and swing your left leg high again. Come onto your back toes, and then step your left foot in between your hands. Send your right knee down and pause. If you like, release your back toes. You can bring the left foot closer to your left hand. Maybe it's a good idea to keep the hands on the ground on this side. You decide. Or if you want, reach your arms up, low lunge. Sink into your hips, saying hello to the right hip flexors, releasing all the sitting hours. Lift the corners of your mouth. Exhale, hands back down to the floor. And bring the left hand inside. your left foot. So both hands inside your left foot. Tuck your back right toes, lift the right knee off the ground. Walk your hands in. So you're here with your hands pointing to the side and bend your left leg again. Sink into your hips. Right toes pointing up this time. Use your hands as we walk over to the other side. Bend your right knee. Left heel on the ground, left toes pointing up, deep squat. And then we move back into your left knee. Maybe you feel this, it's a nice stretch on the inside of your right leg. And then you walk your hands out in front of you, lift your hips, bring the right foot down, send your left knee to the ground. Squeeze your left foot in, the right foot, sorry, mixing my left and right today. Release your left foot, left hand next to the hip, and the right arm reaches up. Reach the right arm up and over your head. Pull the right fingers away from the right toes. And then right hand comes back down. Walk your hands back in, tuck your left toes, press back into the straddle forward fold. Let your upper body sink towards the ground. Inhale, half lift. Inhale, forward fold. And half lift. Lengthen out the spine. Drop forward again. Lift your spine. And then walk your hands off your yoga mat. So your palms are on the ground. If you like, turn the toes out to the side. Keep your left hand on the ground and reach your right arm up. You can really open up the chest. Exhale, right hand down and switch. Left arm up. Really trying to rotate your spine as you reach up and back with your left hand back down. Right arm up. Send your right hand down and we switch again. Right hand down, lift your left arm. You can always move from your feet as you lift one arm off the ground. Remember, you're a living, breathing being. Always adjust the pose to suit your body. Bring your right hand down last time with your left arm up. Keep breathing. And then both hands on the ground. Shuffle your feet in up to hip distance apart. And then come onto your toes. Bend your knees. Balance on your toes. You can have your fingers on the ground or maybe bring your palms to prayer pose in front of your heart. Find balance on your toes. It's always nice. We spend so much time with our feet in shoes, feeling all the different muscles in your feet. And then send your hands back down to the ground. Lower your knees down to the ground. And here for the next pose. If you like, you can use to do this pose with your toes tucked or releasing your toes. It's totally up to you. Walk your hands up, your hips. And then option one is you bring your palms to your bum. And you imagine wearing jeans, sliding your hands into the back pockets and press your hips forward. If you feel bendy today, and of course you can really open your knees out to the side. I always think it helps the balance. And it's more comfortable for the knees. If you like, you can bring your hands down to your heels, but keep pressing your hips forward. And if you decide to have the hands by your heels, feel the opening here in your chest. Maybe you want to drop your head back. So either way, if you're here with your hands by your heels or you have your hands by your butt cheeks, shift the weight into your right hand. Lift the left arm up. Circle the left arm back to the butt cheek or back to the heel. Reach your right arm up. Keep your hips pressing forward. And circle the right hand back. And then once more with your left arm up. Circle the left hand either to the left heel or left butt cheek. Right arm comes up. Keep reaching with your right arm. Circle the right hand back down. One last time each side. So left arm up, keep your hips pressing. Circle the hand back down. Last one with your right arm. And circle your hand back. Let your head drop, either hands by your heels or butt cheeks. If your hands by your heels, bring them back to your hips. And roll back up. Send your hands back down to the ground. And from here, so you're in tabletop again. Little relief for your feet. So you're here. Come onto your knees, lift your feet, and tap out your feet. Make a little noise. And release. Tuck your toes again. Walk your hands to your knees. And lift your knees off the ground again. Find your toe balance again. If you like, bring your palms together. Find your balance here. Keep breathing. And you're coming back to the toes. Drop the knees, but this time you want to keep your toes tucked. If you find this is way too much, you know you can always bring the hands out in front of you. I know the urge to release the toes is there. But also if you know that you have something, maybe you had an injury, one of your feet, of course, maybe you do right toes tucked, relieving the left foot, if the left foot is your injured foot, or the other way around. So you, please don't think you have to do this if there's something with your foot. If you're feeling fine with your toes tucked, you can lean back. Some of you maybe want to bring your hands behind you. And wherever you are, try to enjoy this stretch. One more big inhale here. And then coming back with your hands in front of you, your toes tucked, and now trying to focus, finding your balance, because you want to lift your knees off the ground, so shift the weight back, lift your knees off the ground, perfect. Interlace the fingers, turn your arms out in front of you, press your arms up, and then release the grip of your hands, come into a forward fold. Feeling your feet back on the ground. Open your feet up to hip distance apart. And then bend your knees. On your next inhale, you roll all the way up to standing. Really feel the soles of your feet on the ground. Roll the shoulders back. Lift your arms up. Exhale, roll straight back to the forward fold. Bend your arms. Bend your knees. Inhale, roll back up. Squeeze your feet into the ground. Roll all the way up to standing. Reach your arms high. Exhale, roll into your forward fold. Last one. Inhale, roll all the way up. Keep your arms reaching high this time. Come onto your toes. Find balance on your tippy toes. Make yourself long. And send the heels back down. Right arm to your right leg. Strong legs. Inhale, reach high with your left arm. Press the right hand into your right leg and find a nice side stretch. You can really lean as deep into this pose as it feels good on your body. Keep reaching and press the left heel into the floor. Inhale, come back up, both arms reaching up. Exhale, left hand to left leg. Inhale, reach high with your right arm. Press your left hand into your left leg. Reach the right arm up and over your head. Right foot tries to anchor down into the ground. Find a side stretch on the second side. Keep breathing. Biggest in and exhales. And then come back up. Both arms reaching high. Exhale, forward fold. Then come back onto your toes. Deep squat on your toes. Hands still on the ground. Knees down, release your toes. Ha. So yeah, no worries, you're not doing this again. So you're here in this kneeling position. And let's do a little counter pose for all that toe balance that we just did. So you're kneeling here, your toes are relaxed. And then lift your right knee. So you're gonna feel this in your toes. Lift the right knee, send it down again. And now, right hand down. Lift your left knee. Your left toes on the ground, opening the knee to the side. Yeah, not sure if that feels better. Toe squatting was better, huh? Left knee down, let's switch. Left hand down, bring the right knee up. Maybe slight rotation to the side. Right knee down and switch. Opening the left knee slightly to the side. Feel the stretch here and that part. So good. And one last chance. So really enjoy this deep stretch, deep opening. Incredible, huh? This is your feet. And right knee down. One last chance. Finding the sweet stretch for your left foot. And left knee back down. Hands to the ground. Cross your feet behind you. Sit over your feet. Find a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Wiggle your hips down, relax the shoulders. Inhale, lift the shoulders up to your ears, send the shoulders down. Inhale, lift your shoulders, roll them back. Inhale, lift the shoulders and send the shoulders down. Relax your hands onto your knees or your thighs. And then bring your chin to the chest. Finding a stretch for the back of your neck. And then rolling your head to the left shoulder. Bring your chin to the chest and roll over to your right shoulder. Finding the neck stretch. And back to center. Left ear towards the left shoulder. Find a stretch on the right side. Back to center. Right ear, right shoulder. And back. One more each side. And bring your chin to center over to the right shoulder. And back. And then roll the shoulders up and back. Lift your head. Inhale, reach your arms up. And keep your right arm lifted. Left arm comes down behind you. Crawl the left fingers up behind, between your shoulder blades. Bend your right arm. Try to find the fingertips behind you. Maybe you can hold on to the fingers, maybe you hold on to the t-shirt. Find a nice stretch in your right arm. Maybe you lean your head into your right upper arm. One more big inhale. Exhale out. Release the grip of your hands. Let your right arm come up. Left arm back up. Right hand down. Try to crawl the right fingers up between the shoulder blades. Bend your left arm. And try to find the fingertips behind you. Maybe you hold on to your t-shirt. If you have a yoga strap, if you want to do this pose again, it's actually a nice one if you need a little break on the desk. This is a great pose. Opens up the shoulders, because then again, typing on the keyboard, getting round from the back, round the shoulders, no matter if you're home office or back in the office, or even if you sit at home reading and stuff, this is where we get short and round. Release your hands, raise both arms up, bring your palms together, send your hands back down, and release your hands back onto your knees. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Depending to the length of your arms, your hands might be resting on your knees or your lap or somewhere in the middle. Palms up or down, what feels best for you. Try to relax the belly. And then slowly come back to your natural breath. And try to observe the rise and fall from your breath. Feel the change from the inhale to the exhale. Trying to feel into your shoulders, from your neck, your shoulders down your spine to your hips. All the way down to your toes. And maybe you can recall the feelings in your body at the very beginning of this class, lying on your back. Maybe you're still there, haven't changed anything. Then you maybe want to come slowly up to sit. But either way, if you've been in Shavasana the whole time, or you've done some of those movements, try to feel the difference in your body. Now, to the very beginning of this class. Let's take 3 more breaths here in this pose. ground beneath you, feeling your sit bones on the floor. Become aware of the space and sounds around you. And on the next inhale, you bring your palms together in front of your heart. Inhale, lift from the chest. Exhale, bow the forward to your fingertips and open your eyes. And with this forward fold, you bow down to yourself, paying gratitude to yourself and taking time for yourself into yoga practice. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Namaste, everyone.